Hey, what's going on, everybody? Picked up a new blade to kind of test and play around with, the SOG Northwest Ranger fixed blade knife. And as you can kind of see in the video, I was doing some splitting in my backyard of some firewood, thinking about doing a fire in the fire pit tonight. And basically I just wanted to see what my first impressions of the knife are and just kind of use it and see how I like it. And just do some testing, test the blade, test how well of it splits wood and chops wood and things like that. You know, basically, it's like kind of like a bushcraft survival knife, similar to a Mora, a little bit larger, but it's similar in size, is what I mean to say. And that's how it's going to pretty much be used for me. So just kind of wanted to test it out on some wood that I have. And so yeah, here it is right here. You'll have to excuse me in the video before. You can see my hair was blowing around all over the place because it was kind of windy outside, which is also why you didn't really see me talking in that part of the video, because the wind noise was just too much for the camera and obviously too much for my messy hair. But anyways, on to the knife. It's kind of dirty. I cleaned it up as best as I could, so you know, if you guys can't stand looking at a little bit of dirt in front of you, there's not much I can do about that. But I kind of wanted to share my first impressions and just share a few things that I discovered about the knife, and actually something about the sheath. Now, a lot of people, when they first get this knife, and I've heard this from several people, I'm not going to mention who, but I've watched videos of people getting this knife, and they immediately say how much they hate the case. You know, it's just a simple leather case, and they just really don't like it. Not even necessarily for functionality, but mostly for cosmetic reasons. And, you know, I kind of agree. There's nothing wrong with the sheath, really. It serves its purpose. You know, you could attach it to a belt, and you can kind of lock the knife in the handle there with the snap closure right there. But I kind of agreed. I really didn't like the sheath when I first pulled out the knife at all. And so I kind of got to thinking about possibly putting this knife in my Mora bushcraft case, or sheath, I should say. This is a pretty simple sheath, but you know, honestly, this is kind of one of my favorite sheaths I've had. All it is plastic, but it really serves the functions that I need. And so I thought, well, what the heck? Why don't I try fitting it inside of that sheath, and we'll see what happens. Now, if you can see right there, it's a perfect fit. You push the knife in, and kind of the handle guard right there goes right inside of this sheath, and it locks into place. There's nothing moving. I mean, there's no rattle. The retention is amazing. Doesn't pop out, nothing. It's kind of like a perfect fit. And when I pull it out, that was dangerous. You can see that when the knife is in, and you hear a knock, that's actually my cell phone saying I have a message. But you look at the knife, that's kind of how it goes into the sheath there. And so you can see there's plenty of room for the tip not to hit the edge there. And like I said, it just kind of snaps right into place. That part right there, once it hits that plastic piece, you just push a little bit, it goes right inside. And that pressure on the handle, the finger guard right there, really just, it makes contact with the sheath, and it just locks right into place. Now, that kind of brings a problem for, say, my Mora bushcraft knife. If I use this sheath for this SOG knife, then I don't have a sheath for my Mora bushcraft. Well, I really don't carry my Mora bushcraft knife on my belt or anything like that. I'll usually have it inside of my pack, so I kind of just made a quick cardboard duct tape sheath with a little bit of aluminum flashing to prevent the blade from cutting through the tape. And then I just covered it with electrical tape. But it's a real simple sheath, but it is effective. It works pretty well. It holds the knife in place. Of course, you see the knife's pretty dirty, but again, it's a user knife. And actually, I really like this sheath. I might remake it and do a few modifications. I'm going to probably put some paracord through some of the tape and some of the aluminum flashing sticking out probably on the top and bottom, so that if I do want to attach this, like to say my pack, or wear it as a shoulder knife or a neck knife, I can do that. But other than that, this little sheath is really functional. I actually kind of like it a lot. But anyways, that's kind of going off topic. Wanted to talk about this knife, and I also wanted to share that the Mora knife sheath for the Bushcraft series actually fits this knife perfectly. Now, I don't know if any other of the models of the Mora knife sheaths will fit this knife, but maybe if some of you experiment, you might be able to figure that out. Definitely let me know, because I'm thinking about buying some of the other Mora models that have a kind of a wide finger guard right here that might work like the Bushcraft knife. But anyways, I wanted to also share one thing that I did to the knife when I first got it. Now, immediately out of the box, I noticed that this kind of finger guard right here was extremely sharp. So when you're holding it, it really dug into my finger. Don't know how that would feel in regular use. I wasn't really sure about it, but all I knew is that I really didn't like how sharp it was. Also, the same thing with the kind of the jimping on top of the blade up here. Extremely sharp. Sharp to the point that if you were just using your bare finger and you pushed right on it really hard, you could actually cut your finger open. It would so sharp that it will dig into your skin and actually cut your finger. So I knew immediately I wanted to either sand that down or file it down. So I got out my file on my Leatherman, the rebar, and I just filed down the jimping right here. It still has enough sharpness to where it really grabs your finger, but it's not sharp to the point to where I feel like it's going to cut my finger. And the same thing for this part right here. Just sanded them down, or actually filed them down with the metal file, and then I kind of finished it with some sandpaper. It's not pretty. If I want to ever resell the knife, I know that's going to decrease the value, but I don't anticipate that I'm going to want to sell the knife. So like I said, it's going to be a user for me primarily as kind of like a day hiking knife that I put in my backpack on all my hikes, along with my Baco saw that I just got. Kind of going to be a combination of blades, but that really makes the knife more desirable to me by adding those couple finishes, and it also just kind of adds character to the knife as well. So just a couple things I wanted to share, my first initial thoughts and kind of my discovery, I want to say, on using the Mora knife. The Mora Bushcrafters knife's sheath fits perfectly on the SOG Northwest Ranger. So overall, I like the knife so far, really liking it. I look forward to using it out in the field a lot more and just playing around with it. But I wanted to share that with you guys. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope this video was helpful to someone or possibly useful. And I'll talk to everyone later. Take care.